Darby will attend Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., where she will study government. Please welcome valedictorian Darby Bupp.
A couple of weeks ago, I was frantically driving to school early to finish my stats exam, and I passed one of my favorite spots in Piqua, a big field filled with yellow dandelions. As I angrily stopped my car at a red light, something caught my eye. Over the course of one night, every single yellow flower in my favorite field had transformed into a fluffy white dandelion. I know that this story seems irrelevant and somewhat insignificant, but I will always remember it because it was the first time that it truly hit me that my entire life was about to change. In one single night, the yellow flower of my adolescence was going to change into a white puff of adulthood, and my field of dandelion classmates would soon dissipate into nothing but empty green stems. This realization not only caused me to miss the changing of the light and to irritate the driver behind me, but it also gave me a moment to really think back over the past 4 years. Unlike many other students at Piqua, I didn't attend Piqua City Schools simply because I live in the school district. I chose to go here. When I was 13 years old, I graduated from my private elementary school, and my parents let me tour the local schools in order to select one. Honestly, at 13 years old, my brain was not quite the most pragmatic, so I ultimately decided on attending Piqua Junior High because it had a jazz band and an elevator. To summarize, I didn't choose Piqua schools because of a fabulous, inspiring reason, but my choice did give me a unique outlook on our school. I've faced many obstacles throughout the past 6 years, and as I encounter each one, I always subconsciously ask myself, would this be happening to me if I picked a different school? The first time that I asked myself this question was when I was in the 7th grade, and I sat by myself in the lunchroom because I didn't know anyone. The answer to my question was no. That might not have happened if I went to a different school. I could have easily gone to a private school with 4 people in my grade, just like the one that I had left behind, where friendship was mandatory because there simply was no other option. But in the end, I'm glad the answer was no. I'm glad that I wasn't satisfied with my solitude, because being by myself forced me to change for the better. I taught myself how to speak up and make friends, to share my opinions and to fight for what I believe in. In the end, I might have been more comfortable at another school, but being uncomfortable forced me to become the person I am today. When I was a freshman, I asked myself this question yet again when I became friends with someone that had dyed their hair blue. This hairstyle itself was a very insignificant part of my childhood, but it forced me to really take a look at the student body and the diverse group of people that occupy not only our school, but the entire city of Piqua. As I looked around at my classmates, I realized that hairdos were not the only way in which my peers differed. I easily could have picked a school filled with people that look, pray, act, and think just as I do. But in the end, I've never been happier than I am when I debate with my friends on politics. And I've never been prouder than I was to watch a friend single-handedly raise enough money to support herself in college. These are moments and lessons that I will cherish for the rest of my life. The variability among our class has fostered within each and every one of us a sense of humility, tolerance, and acceptance. These are qualities that I would never have learned to appreciate at a different school. Finally, I asked myself this question only a few weeks ago when I visited an old friend and received a somewhat sour reminder that I am, in fact, not the only valedictorian at Piqua High School. I won't lie, it's been tough to work alongside a person that is as intelligent, gifted, and unique as Cameron Brown. It probably would have been easier to go to a different school and potentially reap the benefits of my valedictorianship alone. But I would not be the same person without him in my life. Thank you, Cameron, for pushing me to be myself and to never stop striving to be the very best that I can be. It's crazy to think that I could have lived an entirely different life. I could have gone to an entirely different school and, as a result, become an entirely different person. The day that I saw that mystical elevator and heard the sweet tunes of the jazz band, I did something that will define my life forever. I planted my dandelion in the field of Piqua High. I changed into the person that I am today. And as I grew, my roots intertwined with those of the people that I will truly never forget. Thank you to my teachers, who have taught me how it feels to be brave. Thank you to my parents, who have taught me how it feels to be loved. And thank you to my friends, who have taught me how it feels to be myself. Today, our white dandelion puffs are shining in the sun, full of hope and possibility. And tomorrow, we will blow away in the wind. Our silky tufts will float to different cities, different states, even different countries. We may never all return to the field of Piqua High. We may never see each other again, but our green stems will remain, our roots will hold firm, and we will never forget.